Mrs. Lee Junko Tabei was a first female mountain climber who climbed Mount Everest at September 22, 1939 as a leader of the female group. Mr. Nakamura has a recording tape of a lecture which she did at a company. He introduced this to many companies that are troubled by many management improvements, but this presentation was making significant effects on management improvement every time. So, I would like to introduce the main points in this series. I will introduce contents that many companies sympathized with Mrs. Tabei's lecture. Please look at this figure. Companies organize a project team to succeed reforms that will influence the future, but it turns out that there is no natural rule to succeed if a group of historical authorities is created. In this sense, her lecture content gave a lot of lessons to companies advancing this countermeasure. I will proceed with the introduction about this lecture content from the motive that she aimed for mountaineering. The process that she aimed at as a mountaineer is as shown in the figure. She chose mountaineering as one of the interests to see the world that she does not know. After that, she was working at the group, and started to make Mount Everest climbing plan. I would like to introduce their efforts to realize the Everest climbing plan that the female climbing team did with this figure. There are many women mountain climbers in Japan. Moreover, many people have longing for climbing Mount Everest. Since a person's lifetime is only once, that opportunity is very precious. However, their efforts show that its dream realization is extremely difficult. The creation and efforts of the climbing plant are as shown in this figure. Characteristic contents compared with general mountaineering are as follows. First, making an execution plan in the form of participation of all employees on the basis of the summit date. Second, efforts to make foods and others for the Everest climb to make themselves all by themselves. Third, their teams undergone low-pressure experiments at the university because there was no highland experience. Mrs. Tabei's group came up with Everest climb in this almost perfect preparation, but they encountered an avalanche accident. But fortunately, she got an early recovery and succeeded as a climbing leader. The process is as shown in this figure. I think this typical example has all the requirements necessary to succeed at almost impossible project. In this sense, I would like to inform to you this case as there is no theory over success stories. And at the same time, this lecture content tells business person that provided suggestions that work should have goals and achievement plans similar to Everest to them, although not aiming for a achievement called Everest climb to them.